What is going on, Sourdough Squad? We see the squad in the chat already. We see you guys. We also see you guys who are upset by this video. And guess what? If you want a full explanation of if rookie quarterback Trey Lance can actually lead the 49ers to the playoffs, stick around. We see you disliking the video before it even started. So do me a favor, counter those people. Like this video, and hopefully they actually stay to watch. And we can get into this because it's going to be fun. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Obviously, the topic of 49ers land, the quarterback. And when has it not, right? When has it not? But before we do that, let's say what's up to the squad. We see everyone in here. Let's go. We see all the homies. We want to shout out the homies first. Let's go. Everyone get in here. Say what's up. Drop a SDS if you're feeling it. Hit a like if you're vibing with me. Hey, we get it. Not everyone's happy today. Not everyone's happy today. There's a lot of discourse back and forth, and that's okay. But we're going to talk about it. We see you in Florida. Let's go. We see the gang in here. Wherever you're watching from, we see you. I want to make sure you guys are well represented here. Let's go. We see the whole squad. All right. The likes are broken. What's up, fam? We see you, Delta. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, we got London in the building. We got England in the building. Let's go. Run it up. We got 33 so far. I think we got like 100 in about 5 minutes yesterday. So it's going to be crazy. I want to get you guys. Oh, look at everyone. We see you watching. We see you watching all over the place. Let's go. Let's go. So we got, guys, what a time to be alive. Because as you guys know, if you guys were with me yesterday, we experienced the news breaking live together on the chat. So what we saw the whole scenario play out right in front of us. And let's recap it again. Not everyone was here. Not everyone was watching. Not everyone was a part of the stream. But for good time's sake, let's recap. So as we were sitting here, as you guys remember, right, we were just chopping it up. We were talking about the Dolphins. Why the Dolphins? And shout out, go Dolphins. Victory Tuesday today. Victory Tuesday. Hey, we're celebrating Victory Tuesday today. Let's go. Because, the vibes. The Dolphins won and did us a huge favor. By being able to beat the Saints. It looked kind of sketchy there for a second, right? It didn't look like Ian Book. They were only down by like 7 with Ian. But oh, that's kind of scary. But the Dolphins did come in clutch. Big time, the San Francisco Dolphins are vibing today. Two of the boy, we're very happy. Ours very happy. Trey Lance in the I'm not going to swear. Mother effing house. I've been waiting for this moment. A lot of people have, and we're going to talk about it from a bunch of different standpoints. We're going to pull in references from Jimmy Garopollo. We're definitely going to be looking. We see you, Austria. We see you, Boston. SF Dolphins, baby. So we are 100% going to be drawing parallels for Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, from the 2019 season to this season, what it means, how we can pull some information, how we can make it make sense. We're going to pull information from this year. We're going to do that all. But as you guys know, yesterday was nuts. We found out live on the stream. Jimmy Garoppolo's not practicing, right? We found out live on the stream. Jimmy Garoppolo is not practicing. Oh, that's weird. That was the first indication, especially on a Monday, right? That's what we talked about. Jesse Wade said, Brad, real question for you. Are you excited? I'm freaking ecstatic. And I want to be clear. I can be ecstatic and sad at the same time. Like, I am very ecstatic that Trey Lance is going to get an opportunity. I think him sitting kind of since week 5 actually will be a benefit to him. We'll get into that a little bit further. But also, too, we can also be sad for Jimmy Garoppolo and the way it's all going down. Again, this year has been so crazy for Jimmy. And he was picking up steam. He was building momentum in the right direction. And you can see how quickly one poor game on national television on top of an injury, like it just spiraled quickly. Absolutely spiraled quickly. So I am very happy. But again, one of the things that we experienced yesterday, part of the roller coaster of what yesterday was, is we found out through the beat reporters that Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't practicing. That's weird. The reason why we said it was weird, because we saw who else was not practicing. And it was pretty much everyone. Everyone was practicing. The only guys that weren't there were Deebo Samuel, just had a child, and Azeez Al-Shaair, suffering from injury. The only player that wasn't available at practice, per the beat reporters, was Jimmy Garoppolo. This just in from Matt Mayoko. The 49ers today are working out free agent punters Colby Wadman, formerly of the Broncos. Jimmy Smith was in camp with the Titans. So the 49ers are working out punters after their punter was placed on COVID reserve list. So that is some stuff that is coming through right now. Of course, you guys know how it is. We will keep you updated with all the updates as they come through in real time. We should probably be hearing some more information about practice reports while on the live, so stay tuned. We got you covered. The second they drop, we're going to be all over it. So as of right now, the 49ers are working out punters, which means likely not a good situation for Mitch Wishnowsky. So Mitch Wishnowsky on the COVID reserve list. So I think so far, he's one of the only ones on the COVID reserve list from the 49ers. It is what it is. Let's go. We see you, Vanessa, coming over from Instagram, Joey from Twitter, Jesse from Facebook. Man, we got everyone out here. We got all platforms represented. All I just need is one of my Twitch folks to say what's up, and we gooch. But here it is. Here's what it is. When we were going through that whole situation yesterday, again, the flow of information was insane. The flow of information, how it went down, in the succession and went down, was unbelievable. Was absolutely unbelievable the way it all happened. And so as we're starting to garner more information, again, I had to do another stream because when I got off the original stream, more information dropped. So essentially the timeline was, we found out Jimmy Garoppolo is not at practice. Only one of importance that wasn't at practice. It's not like it was a situation where a bunch of people were going to be able to do that. Cap said, Brad, you get a chance to check out Trey Lance in that BTC QB challenge that dropped today. I saw him post about it. I have not looked at it. I will take a look after this, though, and see what that's about. So I'm definitely going to look now that Cap's saying it. So how it all continued to progress, right? Then we said, we're going to hear from Kyle Shanahan. We're going to hear from Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan speaks to the media beat reporters. Boom, sprained thumb. Maybe. Iffy. I think it's a sprained thumb. Interesting. So it seemed like, okay, on his throwing hand. Did you notice how right after Kyle Shanahan dropped that news, Schefter hit? I think it was Ian Rappaport. Ian Rappaport hit. Schefter hit. Now, say what you want. From my understanding, Rappaport is tied in with a lot of agents. Again, a lot of people assume who maybe don't do content, don't do these kinds of things, just think like everyone gets their information through the team. They're me included, other content creators, you can develop direct relationships with players, with their family members, with their marketing teams, completely outside of the San Francisco 49ers. And those people tend to typically care about their person. So it was very interesting to see how the information came out. Specifically on the backside of Kyle Shanahan calling it a sprain. And then right after that, all the information started to come out, and they started talking about, oh, it's a UCL tear with a bone chip, like, and then we're having doctors come out and say, oh, that's a 5 to 6 week injury that requires surgery. So it's interesting. And again, there's a lot of information floating around, whether you want to believe it or not, but it does feel a little interesting. It does feel a little interesting. So, especially in the way and how it started to get spun. We said that in real time yesterday. Didn't we not? We said we've lived through this Jimmy kind of going out before. We've seen the media spun, but like we've seen this before. It's not our first rodeo. So we're going to find out more about what's going to happen with Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance on Wednesday. But everything that we are hearing is that this injury is going to stick around, potentially linger a little bit, and likely, very likely, Trey Lance is going to start this Sunday against the 49ers. Or, I'm sorry, against the Texans in a pretty big game, right? Because in this game, the 49ers have an opportunity to clinch. And this is how they clinch. The 49ers beat the Texans and the Philadelphia Eagles lose. From my understanding, if that is the case, the 49ers will clinch the 6th seed, because remember, they own the tiebreaker over the Philadelphia Eagles. So with that loss of the Saints to the Dolphins, that's why we're the San Francisco Dolphins yesterday, huge bump further into the 49ers getting into the playoffs. I believe their percentage chance of getting into the playoffs, 75%. That's pretty dang good. That is pretty dang good. Feeling a lot better now than I was yesterday when I was told if there was a 3-way tie, 49ers would not make it. That made me nervous, but now it's back in the right direction. And now the 49ers can control their destiny moving into the playoffs with Trey Lance at the starting quarterback. And so the original question that was posed for this video and what we are going to be talking about for the majority, as again continued news and notes flow through. I got one eye on the phone, so we'll be watching. But what we're talking about is, can Trey Lance lead the 49ers into the playoffs, and can they go deep into the playoffs? Is that something that we can even think about? Is that something that is a realm of possibility? Is it a range of outcomes? Again, we look at everything through ranges of outcomes. You can look at a situation and process it 50 million different ways and come out with different outcomes for almost all of them. That is how my mind specifically works. And so for me, it's really easy to compartmentalize and conceptualize if Trey Lance can and will be successful, especially with the 49ers in the playoffs. And this is one thing that I want to start with. We're going to be pulling a lot of parallels from Jimmy Garoppolo, the 2019 year, because again, if you guys remember, Jimmy Garoppolo got traded in 2017 to the San Francisco 49ers mid-year with 2 weeks of preparation. He comes in. Actually, his first touchdown was in a loss against Seattle, but he's able to come back the following week and rip off 5 wins in a row. One of the wins, 2 of the wins were over playoff contending teams, one being the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are actually trying to clinch their division. Remember the hats and t-shirts game? They had an opportunity to take care of business. 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo had different plans. So how does that make sense? What does that have to do with 2018, 2019? It's because this is the Jimmy Garoppolo story. That is when Jimmy Garoppolo restored faith into the franchise. That is when Jimmy Garoppolo made us feel like, holy crap, we have a quarterback. And so we were very excited about the progression and how everything was going to progress. We felt like we had our guy. 2018, again, Vikings game was a little shaky. Detroit game was a little shaky to start against the Chiefs, But however, what did Jimmy Garoppolo do? He tore his ACL in that game, and that year was lost forever. So moving into 2019, up until this point, Jimmy Garoppolo, yes, he's had multiple years in the NFL. He sat behind Tom Brady. He actually won 2 Super Bowl rings with the Patriots in that organization. It's pretty solid. But in 2019, when Jimmy Garoppolo came out, he had never played a full season before, start to finish. Jimmy Garoppolo had never played a full season before. And coming off the ACL, again, on the front leg, the left knee, like when you plant and you throw, man, you're transferring weight from your back leg to your front leg with big bodies coming into you. That it's not only a physical thing, but it's a mental thing. So I felt like it was kind of like a reset. I really went into 2019 with Jimmy Garoppolo. Again, 2017 was great, but that was not my expectation for 2019 because I understood what he was rehabbing from. I understood I had done case studies on Marcus Mariota, Derek Carr, Ryan Tannehill, Joe Burrow, whichever quarterbacks you have seen out there tear their ACLs, not all of them come back right away. So I had that same sentiment with Jimmy Garoppolo. Well, Jimmy Garoppolo, if you guys remember, the 49ers came out and won 8 games in a row. You guys remember that in 2019? That was a lot of fun. They won 8 games in a row. Only 3 games of those first 8, Jimmy Garoppolo threw for over 175 yards. Only 3 games he threw for over 175 yards. In those games where he threw for over 175 yards, the Cincinnati Bengals, when they blew them out 41-17, you had the Yak God show up and George Kittle, truck sticking Fitzpatrick. You had George Kittle hitting a wide open Marquise Goodwin that ran in for about 60-yard touchdown untouched. You had that next game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, if you guys remember. He threw for 268, but in all reality, was not the greatest game. Jimmy Garoppolo really wasn't relied on at all. What's good, my Luke? Wasn't really relied on until that last drive, the game-winning drive that Jimmy Garoppolo had against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was really his only significant contribution to that game. Because if you recall, it was pretty ugly. It was back and forth, a lot of turnovers. That was first Mason Rudolph as well, if you guys recall. But the 49ers were able to win that game 24-20. To be honest, when you're looking at the stats and you can't even jump to the playoffs in the divisional round against the Minnesota Vikings, Jimmy Garoppolo only threw for 122 yards. So in a divisional round playoff game that the 49ers won 14-3, Jimmy Garoppolo threw for 122 yards. In the conference championship game against the Green Bay Packers, in which the 49ers won 37-20, Jimmy Garoppolo threw for 69 yards. In the Super Bowl, in which we know, I don't even need to talk about it, Jimmy Garoppolo only threw for 210 yards. And what's the point? What is the point of going through the statistics and talking about the 2019 year? What does it mean? Why are we even talking about that? It's 2021. What do we talk? Because we're talking about Trey Lance. Because we're talking about Trey Lance in his first second game, real second start of this year. In 2019, Kyle Shanahan, the point of what I'm trying to make is that in 2019, Kyle Shanahan treated Jimmy Garoppolo like a rookie quarterback. I would like to say that again. It's the point to why I'm referencing 2019. In 2019, Kyle Shanahan treated Jimmy Garoppolo just like a rookie. That is just not me saying this. He said this on the Peter Schrager and McVay podcast this offseason. They talked about that year. They talked about Jimmy Garoppolo because in that episode, they were talking about the quarterback, why they drafted Trey Lance, what traits they look for in a quarterback. We got to hear Kyle speak candidly about those things. And in 2019, what 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 Kyle Shanahan talked about was how the 49ers had such an elite defense that they could just keep running the ball. And they could just, even if the offense wasn't working, they could just continue to do whatever they needed to do because they knew the defense would keep them in there. The only time the defense, there's about 4 games where the defense didn't really show up, right? In those games that the defense didn't show up, I believe it was against the Rams. I believe it was against the Saints. And there were 2 others where Jimmy Garoppolo had Pittsburgh was one of them. But there were 4 games in 2019 that Jimmy Garoppolo had to actually put the team on his shoulders and lead them to a game-winning drive and or go toe-to-toe with Drew Brees. And so we started to see glimpses, right? We started to see those glimpses of Jimmy Garoppolo and what he was capable of. But the whole point of what I'm talking about is coming back to Kyle Shanahan. What Kyle Shanahan is going to do, scheme, and prepare Trey Lance for against the Texans, against the Rams, and potentially in the playoffs. I think we can all agree when we go back to week 5 of this year and the offense that we saw and tried to see be executed with Trey Lance, it was a bit head scratching. The reason for me of why it was head scratching is because it felt like a lot of that game was solely on the shoulders of Trey Lance. I know I've heard Kyle speak to that game before, talk to a little bit about how maybe he underestimated the difference in scheme going from Kyle to Trey, underestimated what the defenses would do and how they would play the 49ers, because again, this is Kyle going out with this scheme for the first time. He's learning as well. So as we saw from that week 5 game against the Cardinals, it was a situation where they almost won it. However, it felt interesting, right? That a rookie getting his first start, who had not been preparing to be the starter all year, has been running with the second team offense, running the Jimmy Garoppolo offense. They have admitted on multiple occasions, I've seen it with my own eyes in training camp. There are 2 offenses. There's the Jimmy Garoppolo offense, and then there's the Trey Lance offense. And we saw them both. Now, if Kyle is going to go into this year and adopt those same mentalities and go into the Texans game and the Rams game in the playoffs, like, we're going to run Trey Lance 5 to 7 times, already understanding he's probably going to escape or create on, maybe an additional 5 plays, then maybe we're not going deep into the playoffs, right? Maybe we're not. But I don't think that's going to be the case this time. I think Kyle has learned. Not only do I think Kyle has learned, but the 2 months that Trey Lance has had to be able to sit back and watch for the lack of a better word, kind of the crap show of the San Francisco 49ers in 2021, the way they have bounced all over the place, I think there's some valuable lessons to learn from not playing. Michael says 2019 Jimmy Garoppolo was average at best. If Kyle calls the game like he did with Mullins or CJ, Lance will excel. And I think Michael is kind of understanding the point that I'm trying to get to here, is that the 49ers went to the Super Bowl with a very average, efficient. We needed to count on him in 4 separate occasions, and he answered the bell. But the overall body of work of Jimmy Garoppolo in 2019 was exactly that. It was average. It was efficient, but it was average. And was he able to win us games? He was. But still, the overall entire body of work was just average. Call a spade, right? So what we're looking for moving into this new phase, like this is almost like a new year. This is almost like a new year for the San Francisco 49ers because now they have an opportunity to, I think, marry the offenses together. The Trey Lance offense and the Jimmy Garoppolo offense and mesh them. That means not. Oh boy. That means not. Uh, that means not squirrel, squirrel. Um, that means. Hold on. Let me reset that. Let me reset that. Um, um, big squirrel. One of the things. Sorry, it's causing me a little bit. Look how red I am. My wife opened the door with my screaming child, and it completely threw me off. Let me try to regroup here. So one of the things that I don't want to see from Trey Lance coming in to start against the Texans is I don't want to see that same offense that we saw against the Cardinals. I would like to see an offense that is married together that fits both what Jimmy could do, but also fits the skill set of what Trey Lance can do. Hey, bro, that's what happens when you're on the grind, man. That's what happens when you're at the grind. You're grinding at home. It happens. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for not coming at me too hard for that disruption. As you can see, it threw me it threw me for a ringer. Um that was interesting. Okay, let's try to get back on track here. So, one of the things that I'm looking for is a little bit evolution to the offense from what we saw with Trey Lance week 5. And so that's the hope. That's the hope. That's what we're looking for. But if we get that, if we get that, if we get that offense, I think the 49ers can go far. I think they can. I think they can do a lot, especially with Trey Lance. Because one of the things that we have noticed with Trey Lance, right, is his escapability, his pocket presence, his pocket awareness. One of the things that we don't have with Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo has been efficient. Jimmy Garoppolo has been able to, it started out rough, but throughout as the year progressed, Jimmy Garoppolo was able to be pretty damn accurate. We know over the middle of the field in breaking routes, he was getting really deadly with those. But not only that, his game started to develop a little bit. We started to see him taking shots down the right sideline, outside the numbers. Again, remember the huge play to Jawan Jennings? That was beautiful. It was a beautiful throw. That was something that was okay. I'm deeply, 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 deeply sorry. I need to take a 2-second break to go check out what's going on. I have to put my dad hat on right now. I apologize. It is I don't want, I apologize. I just got to go check really quick. I'll be right back. Hopefully the sourdough squad can keep the chat going. I'll be right back. I will be right back. If you guys leave, I understand. It's okay. I just got to go look really quick. Thank you guys. I'll be right back. Hopefully I'll be right back. So bear with me. I appreciate you guys. Hold on one sec. All right, I'm back. Thank you guys for being patient. I really, really do appreciate it. I'm back. Um, I, I am by default the doctor of the house because I played football for so long, and I've been in the training room for so many different times that I'm pretty good at diagnosing injury and understanding how the body works. And I guess my little one hurt his arm. I just wanted to make sure nothing too serious. It's okay. It's not too serious. Just a little banged up. Nothing broken. Right? Nothing's broken. That's what the first thing we're looking for. Is it broken? No, wasn't broken. Can he move it? Does he have movement in all the extremities? Movement's good. Okay, movement's great. We start to pinch and find the point. Okay, we figured we got ice on it. It's all good. It's all good. I appreciate you guys, man. I really, really do. I know that's a pretty big disruption to the stream. Um, so I thank you guys for your patience. I really do. I was on a roll there. I was on a roll there. Um, yeah. Yeah, it's not torn ligaments. We ruled out torn ligaments. There's no UCL tear. There's no chip bone. There's no bone chips in the arm. We figured it out. Oh man, I appreciate you guys. I really do. What were we talking about? What the hell were we talking about, man? What were we talking about before? Uh, I had to go play Dr. Dad there for a sec, but we're back. We're back. Um, uh, do you guys remember? I don't even know. Is my son going on he's going on short-term IR. He will be out for 3 weeks with a arm contusion. So hopefully he'll be able to come back and start slinging it. That's per Adam Schefter, though. Per Adam Schefter, uh, the boy will be back. My goodness. Okay, Trey Lance offense for Houston. Thank you very much. So, what I was talking about, the reason why I wanted to go back to 2019, the reason why I wanted to go and pull parallels from Jimmy Garoppolo and do all that good stuff is because it comes back and ties into the offense that we saw for Trey Lance in week 5. So the hope is, and again, the reason why I'm optimistic that this not only is Trey learning and developing, but so is Kyle. This has been an experience for Kyle. It's been an experience for everyone in that locker room. It's been an experience for the fan base. It's been an experience for content. Dude, we've all been through this. So with the week 5, again, that's really our only true case study. We can go back to the Seattle game in the second half of week 4, but there's really just not a lot to look at there. But overall, what I'm anticipating for Trey Lance and the San Francisco 49ers offense is I am anticipating a more well-rounded, efficient style offense. That is something that Jimmy Garoppolo could run. However, I do anticipate wrinkles such as RPOs and zone reads and designed quarterback powers and or counters. I do anticipate that. So do I think that it's going to be at the rate that we saw against the Cardinals? No, I don't. I think and especially one of the key elements of that game, they didn't have George Kittle. There was multiple plays where they would have scored if George Kittle was in fact in the game and blocking. So George Kittle is going to be a much needed asset for Trey Lance. And I think we're going to see some of those benefits because that was one of the most glaring things that I took away from that Cardinals tape. Like I like Ross Dwelly a lot. I do. But he was a huge reason why the 49ers didn't win that game, at least on the offensive side. He missed a lot of blocks. He missed a crucial block that would have been a Trey Lance touchdown on that goal line, which we know turned into Trey Lance ultimately getting stopped. It is what it is. So the hope is that if Kyle Shanahan evolves his scheme and it's more of a melting pot of scheme rather than having two different schemes. So with that being said, with the Texans coming out, again, the Texans are ready to go, man. This Texans team under David Culley, the Texans have been a team that have went through just as much turmoil, probably more than the 49ers with off the field stuff, the quarterback's situation, all of it. It's been a ride for the Texans. So it's fitting that the 49ers are playing a team where they almost got Deshaun Watson earlier in the year, but now they're playing them with their new quarterback in Trey Lance. And so I think this is what it's going to look like. I think that we're going to see a more confident Trey Lance. I think we're going to see a system that fits Trey Lance better, because as I've talked about millions and millions of times on this channel, is that Trey Lance can operate pro-style offenses and schemes. That's what he did at North Dakota State. It's one of the reasons why, after spending hours and hours of studying the tape, I was so intrigued by his fit with Kyle Shanahan, because that coach at North Dakota State runs pre-snap motion, play action, all those types of things. Except when we came out against the Cardinals, we didn't see that style of play. We saw a lot of shotgun. We saw pistol. Like, we just saw things and elements to the offense that just didn't align. And I think the offense was a bit disjointed as a result. So I think what Kyle Shanahan can do is build the scheme around him while still utilizing his skill set to be able to move and get yardage with his legs, but play him more from the pocket. Use play action. Be able to utilize naked boots and things like that. Move the pocket for Trey. You don't have to have him be a straight drop back passer. You can move the pocket. And so if the 49ers can get back to, again, baseline running the football, with Elijah Mitchell coming back to the lineup, Jeff Wilson also performing better, I'm really excited about what those two can do, especially heading into the playoffs. So what I would like to see from the San Francisco 49ers, Trey Lance, specifically, I think you guys know who I'm talking to, Kyle Shanahan. I want to see Kyle Shanahan put Trey Lance in a position to be successful. And I think if Kyle Shanahan does that, I think the 49ers can go play the Texans at home and get a W. I think they can. Now, the Texans are playing pretty solid right now. We are going to give the Texans their flowers. Rex Burkhead put up a performance against the Chargers. Damn near had him looking like Christian McCaffrey. You have Davis Mills. I read Davis Mills' scouting report a couple days ago that I did of him. He's a good quarterback, and he's developing in front of our eyes. So Davis Mills is capable. They might be getting Brandon Cooks back potentially. We'll find out. So they can hurt us if we give them the opportunity to. So again, what's the plan? Run the football, control the clock, own the game. How do we do that? By putting Trey Lance in efficient situations to be able to distribute the ball, and if we need to, have him use his legs. Because on the other flip side, when the 49ers used Trey Lance to run the football 16 times, now again, not all of those were designed runs. That is also important. I believe there's 5 to 7. I don't know the exact number. I believe it's in the range of 5 to 7 of those runs were designed quarterback powers. However, we also know if protection breaks down, in which it was, because Chandler Jones was creating some havoc, Trey had to escape. So I would like that to be figured in to this specific time around. I would like that to be figured in. 1 or 2, maybe 3 zone reads to be able to get the baseline concept down of holding the safety and holding the defensive end. Yes, I want to see that. I want to see them running zone read action a lot, but that doesn't mean we need to execute it all the time. We don't need to come out and just start running zone read because we have a quarterback who can run. No. What we can do is use that to the advantage of the overall scheme of the offense by adding that element, which does what? It keeps defensive ends planted in contain. You don't even have to block them. You just looking at them and doing the zone read action, that is a block. So that's what I want to see from Kyle Shanahan. I want to see Kyle Shanahan utilize and scheme his skill sets to make the defense go, hold on, is he going to run? Well, we don't need him to run. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. Let's see. What do we got from R? R says colleges attempted to recruit Trey Lance as a receiver, linebacker, and cornerback. He chose quarterback and recruited half the team. Trey runs over defenses. There's a reason in my scouting report of Trey Lance, I said he runs the football like the Derrick Henry of quarterbacks. He does. He's a strong kid. He's big too. I got to see him in person, up close and personal at that Trent Williams documentary premiere, and just got to see him kind of hanging out. Dude, he's big, but you can tell he's still growing into his body, which is the craziest thing. He's 21, man. He's gonna get bigger. He is. He absolutely is. It's gonna be crazy. So I agree. That dude's a savage. He is absolutely a savage. I saw. Yeah, there we go. Appreciate you, Luke, shooting me a super chat as I had to rush to dad duty. Appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you guys. Anthony C says Shanny needs to embrace the improvisation of Lance. Wilson, Jackson, Mahomes thrive in those elements. Will Shanahan find the balance, or will the ego get the best of him? And so I think that's kind of what we are talking about, just a little bit of what he did against Arizona. It felt kind of ego-driven. I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of what Kyle has done has felt ego-driven. Again, go back to Detroit. Go back to Jimmy Garopollo leading the entire offense down the field into the red zone, and then putting Trey Lance in to throw the touchdown. That feels ego-driven. That feels like that's not beneficial to the team. That just feels like an almost egocentric type of thing. Hey, look at my new toy. Look at this 2-quarterback system that we've talked about for nonstop, blah, blah, blah. This is what I'm going to do. There's a reason they don't use the 2-quarterback system. There is a very specific reason. And so as we see, I hope, and that's what I'm talking about. I really hope that Kyle Shanahan has an opportunity here to really redefine the Trey Lance offense. Because to me, in my opinion, and shout out Anthony, shout out Luke, shout out everyone who's sending super chats. Really do appreciate it, especially after having to jump into dad duty. But I think that's a big part of what this is. Take your ego out of it. This is a team game. We need all hands on deck. We need everything to be working in succession together. And against the Texans, the 49ers have to be honest, they have a really good opportunity to kind of have a soft rollout of the offense before they go up against a legitimate playoff contender in the Rams. Now, we don't know what the Rams are going to do. They could effectively bench a lot of their players against us. So could we, especially if we clinch. However, we do need to see what this offense looks like. And if this offense is going to look like how I envision it in my head and like what I think is best for the team, obviously, I think I'm right. That goes without saying. But I do believe if they can do those types of things that I've been talking about, the way that you can mold, you could keep the base existing offense there. You don't have to change anything. You just add RPOs. You add zone read. That's it. You just add to it. You add the element. You do it early. Maybe the very first play is a zone read. Why? To let them know early that, hey, we got a quarterback that can beat you with his legs, and we need you to be cognizant of that. And if you can do that early, you can manipulate and take advantage of this entire scheme. When we look at the outside zone, and when we look at the power concepts where they're pulling Brunskill, pulling Kittle, pulling Juszczyk, if you're now doing that same concept, but with a zone read action, you actually don't have to block that defensive end. You can hold a defensive end. Typically, you would have Juice or Kittle kick that guy out. You might not have to do that, depending on how they play, depending on how wide their defensive ends are. There is a potential. You can run that play just by adding zone read with Trey Lance, and you don't have to block that guy because that guy is going to be froze looking at Trey Lance to see if he's going to tuck it. So that's what I'm looking for. I am not looking for Trey to just come out and just run the football all the time. That is not at all what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it to be added. And if it can be added, then I think we're talking. Niner Cali Boy says Kyle had Jimmy Garopollo run a quarterback sneak to run the clock out at half. LO ego driven. To me, if we're going to talk about that play specifically, to me that play felt like he knew Jimmy didn't have it, because they tried to throw the ball. I think before that quarterback sneak, and the ball it wasn't an accurate throw. So I think up until that point, understanding the mood, understanding the energy of the first half was pitiful. So I really believe that Kyle just said this, and he said it. He said, I don't want to risk a turnover. And that's kind of where we were at in that specific game. Niner by Nature says, how good Trey 5 has to be in order to be the first rookie quarterback to ever win the Super Bowl. See, this is why I wanted to bring up the 2019 year. The 49ers, in my opinion, now, again, I get it. Jimmy Garoppolo is not a rookie. He had sat behind Tom Brady. He had actually won 2 Super Bowls. And he had plenty of opportunities to develop as a starting quarterback. And the mentality, he wasn't a true rookie. However, in 2019, dealing with that injury, I really think from a mental capacity standpoint, from an on-the-field processing standpoint, I viewed him as a rookie. Does that make sense? Like, clearly he wasn't. He wasn't a rookie. He has the experience. But how I saw the ACL affect him, it felt like he had regressed, if that makes sense. I think that's what I'm trying to say. At least from the 2017 year. What we saw in 2019, it felt like a regression, and it felt like a slow buildup. Felt like Kyle was slowly building Jimmy Garoppolo up, and when we had to use him, he did it. He succeeded for us. So the point of kind of what Niner by Nature is saying, what do we have to do in order to win the Super Bowl with Trey Lance? They have a wild card piece now. They have a wild card piece with Trey Lance. We know that, like, we can agree, even though Jimmy Garoppolo was playing good football against the Falcons, was playing good football against the Bengals, played good football for the most part, wasn't 100% perfect, but against the Vikings played decently, against the Jags, against the Rams, he had played decently. However, we understand that specific offense is capped. There's only so far they can go and push the offense with Jimmy at quarterback. So I think, like, again, the real question of this live was, can Trey Lance lead them into a deep playoff run? I believe it. I believe it because Trey Lance, look at what Jimmy has done in this year. He's played like rookie. Jimmy Garoppolo has played like a rookie in what, year 9? I think, in multiple occasions. Thursday night, perfect example. A rookie could have gone out, could have went out and did what Jimmy Garoppolo did in the first half. Now, I'm not trying. These aren't shots at Jimmy Garoppolo. This is purely just comparison's sake. Production on the field, right? So production on the field would tell us a lot of what Jimmy Garoppolo did this year, a rookie can do, especially a talented rookie. So what I think is going to occur is that I think Trey Lance is going to be successful this year. And I think it's going to be a little bit of like a reset, because as we've kind of see, this year there's like parts of this year that feel like almost individual separate years in of itself. So this almost the next chapter of this year. That's what it feels like. It feels like all of a sudden this new offense with a new quarterback, like with a new mentality, with a new vibe, with a spot in the playoffs about this close from being locked up, it does feel like if they can get hot and they can gel, that's the biggest thing. Can they gel with Trey Lance at quarterback? Can they gel within the scheme that Trey Lance is running? And if they can do that, I don't, and this is an honest opinion, I don't see why they couldn't go deep. I don't see why they couldn't. And I'm not going to put that on them. I'm not going to say that is the most likely ranges of outcomes, because let's face it, playing in the NFL is hard. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. There's 22 people on that roster or more who go out there and play for the 49ers. We're not going to chalk it all up to one person. Even though it can happen that way, Thursday night against the Tennessee Titans was a perfect example of that. So it can happen. It can happen. However, Trey Lance has something that Jimmy doesn't have, and it's his legs. Like I said, I think there's a very specific way in which you use said legs. However, they are there and they exist, and he is good with using them and utilizing them. And you can completely take advantage of a defense, too, that has limited tape, limited understanding of what type of scheme, what type of offense Kyle Shanahan is going to run. And, you can take advantage, and they can treat this now with that win that the Dolphins got. They can treat this a little bit of less dire straits. Kyle's got to be scheming for this week, but he's got to be scheming for next week. He's got to be scheming for the playoffs. Kyle understands that he has a blank canvas. No one has tape or real tape on this guy, and he can paint whatever picture he wants. So what picture is Kyle Shanahan going to paint? That is going to be the question, and that is going to be the answer to the question. Can the 49ers go deep into the playoffs, and can a rookie quarterback win the Super Bowl for the first time? That is that's the question. That's the answer. This is on Kyle. This whole year's been on Kyle, but specifically right now, this is on Kyle, and that's how we should want it. We should want our season to hang in the balance of the mad genius that is Kyle Shanahan. R says Tika 300 WSM. Is that an acronym for something? I don't know. I'm old. It could be. It's Jimmy G's boy toy bobblehead. Trey storyline begins now. Okay. So we're talking mess through Super Chat. Got you. Oh my God. Like I said, hey, if you guys want to talk mess and get that last leg, respectfully, shoot the Super Chat. We got you. Chris Royal says the problem with Jimmy is he's exactly like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You never know what you're going to get. And that's 100% correct. That's been his issue. We just don't know. We just don't know. One day he sees, and that's why we talked about the Atlanta Falcons game, and that's why we talked about the Tennessee Titans game. Those games were 4 days apart, and you couldn't have gotten a more Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, like adverse, like hot and cold Jimmy than that, like ever. That was the, like, in a 4-day span, what he did against and how he played against the Falcons to then, like, literally rejuvenizing the fan base. Everyone started to almost like start to rally around him. That's how well he played against the Falcons, and played so poorly just 4 days later that actually was a huge reason why they lost the game. A rookie can do that. A rookie can do that. So we're going to see what Trey Lance can do, because it really doesn't feel like Jimmy's going to be coming through that door this year. It does feel like Jimmy's done. Whatever you want to say, why, the reasoning, it does feel like Jimmy Garoppolo is done for the year. Cap Speaking says, you think Kyle Shanahan and McDaniel got a better feel for Lance's strengths by watching him run different offenses on the scout team? Yes. I think this is going to be one of the most underrated points. I think this is going to be one of the most underrated points. Also, twofold of that. Not only do they get to kind of see Trey Lance emulate Russell Wilson, try to act like Joe Burrow, try to act like Matt Ryan, try to act like Kirk Cousins, try to act like Kyler Murray. So we've seen it both. And what has that defense said? I think unsolicited Fred Warner last week said Trey Lance has been carving up the first string starting defense while on the scout team. An unnamed source told Matt Mayoko before the Titans game that Trey Lance has been looking phenomenal in practice and has really stepped up. What did Kyle Shanahan say yesterday during his call with beat reporters? He said Trey Lance has had the best month of practice we have ever seen. These guys know what they're doing when they're saying all this stuff. And I have to believe it would be true. You don't have players, media, and coaches all speaking the same way unless there has to be a sense of reality to that. And so you can gain reps from the scout team. There is a world where Trey Lance has learned a ton since that week 5 game against the Cardinals. There's a world, as Cap Speaking says, where Kyle Shanahan and Mike McDaniel have learned how to manage their quarterback a little better. Because, hey, we remember what happened the last time Kyle Shanahan got his hands on a running quarterback in the playoffs. We all remember that RG3 game. We don't want that. We don't want that. I trust you. Trust me when I say we do not want that. We do not want Trey Lance looking like running back. Like, just because he's capable and he can do it does not mean we need to. If that makes sense. Chris Royal says it sucks Jimmy got hurt, but I'm excited for Lance. I agree. I think it sucks for Jimmy. I think the way it went down, like Tweetgate, the bad game on Thursday Night Football in front of the world, and it's tough, man. I really feel for Jimmy in that instance. Oh my gosh, this would have been the most insane show ever if the 49ers were somehow on Hard Knocks this year. That would be must-watch television. So, oh my gosh. Like the 49ers, like we're content creators, so we've been following every single thing since January. Well, I've been following every single thing since 2017, but it's been a movie this year. This year has been different. It does feel like this is reality TV. Like, and we know reality TV is scripted. That's the point. It's supposed to look real. But it has been an interesting year. So, however, I'm excited for Trey. Now, again, losing Jimmy in that way and how it's happened, especially riding high after that Falcons game, just not the way I wanted to see it go down. I did not want to see that happen. I anticipated this happening because, again, what did Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch always talk about when referencing why they're going up to get a quarterback? Health, right? Jimmy Garoppolo being healthy. That's what they talked about at length. You need a guy who's available. So far, right now, our guy hasn't always been available. And as we've seen, the team suffers when he's not available. So that was always what we talked about, right? So, who said Trey offs? Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to swoop that. I see you, my guy. That's a good one. That's a good one. I might have to borrow that. I might have to borrow the Trey offs. That's legit. That's legit. Hey, what's up, stepson? So I think right now that the 49ers have an opportunity to reset. It's been a up and down year. A lots of crazy things going on. But I believe there is an opportunity right here in front of us for the 49ers to reset. Now, we understand you can't reset a locker room, right? You can't reset a vibe and energy, but these guys are professionals. Have they always wanted Jimmy Garoppolo? Yes, they have. They came out and tell you every chance they get that Jimmy Garoppolo is the quarterback of this team. Well, guess what? He's not anymore. Jimmy Garoppolo's hurt. He's probably not going to play. And this is also kind of going to solidify, I believe, the ending for Jimmy Garoppolo. I believe it is. I believe this is the opportunity, whether behind closed doors, in front of the media, whether it's injury related or not. It does feel like a clean break. It feels like it is what it is. No Jimmy Garoppolo at practice. Again, I don't think Kyle knew the extent of the injury. I don't think he was the information was passed on to him. I think there's more going on here than just an injury. So, but that's pure speculation. So there's an opportunity here for a reset. And that again also makes this team dangerous because if they can reset in a way that works and they can be efficient, effective, and do all those things, I don't see why Trey Lance can't lead this team deep into the playoffs. Because again, look at the record with Jimmy Garoppolo. When Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't turn the ball over, the 49ers are 7-0. Okay? That's one of the reasons why Jimmy Garoppolo has been considered a winner. Because when he doesn't turn the ball over and he takes care of the ball, the 49ers win games. It's just how it works. However, on the flip side, when Jimmy does turn the ball over, and specifically, I believe this year, no, is it this year? I don't know. But when Jimmy Garoppolo has at least one turnover, he's 1-6. Just one turnover. He's 1-6. So that to me tells you enough about how to manage this. As long as Trey Lance can go out and take care of the football, we don't have to put Trey Lance in positions to go nuts. He's capable. He can make every throw. I've seen it with my own eyes. In training camp, in preseason. He can make all the throws. Just at what level of consistency? We're about to find out. So there is a world, again, where Trey Lance comes in, is efficient, doesn't turn the ball over, and the 49ers win games as a result. You have another wrinkle that comes in with his abilities that you can manipulate defenses with. There's another wrinkle. There's a new energy There's a new vibe. It's different. Now the energy of the fan base is different. So I think there's an opportunity here for Trey Lance to like cement himself with a lot of good energy. And again, even if the 49ers don't go deep and they don't go to the Super Bowl and those kinds of things, if Trey Lance can come out, have a good game against the Texans, a good game against LA, the 49ers get into the playoffs, and we see a competent, effective rookie quarterback in the playoffs. Playoff football is different. It's a different speed. It's a different vibe. It's one or done. The season's over. There's no makeup games. It is what it is. So the energy in playoffs are different. So with Trey Lance, he has an opportunity in front of him to be able to make people forget. Like, again, I talk about this all the time. What have you done for me lately? That's all fans care about. That's all fans care about. What have you done for me lately? What has Jimmy Garoppolo done for them lately? We know. So the baseline, the baseline that Jimmy Garoppolo set against the Titans, there is an opportunity for Trey Lance to like come out. If he just looks better than what Jimmy Garoppolo looked like on Thursday, the fan base is going to have a glimpse of hope. It's going to give them the ability to want to get behind him and ride with him. Absolutely. Luke says Jimmy gave this franchise hope. He turned around a winless team. I appreciate him for that. There's no reason that Lance doesn't take the reins and carries that same hope and stability and more. I like this comment, Luke. And I think that too is also kind of emblematic of 2017 year versus this year. Again, Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't ready to play. He was here for 2 weeks. The 49ers traded for him from the Patriots. He was on the roster for 2 weeks. He was on the roster for 2 weeks before he played. He won 5 games in a row. What did he do? He brought a different energy. He brought a different vibe. He brought some moxie that, hey, CJ Beathard didn't have. He brought some stuff that Brian Hoyer did not have, and they responded to it. So there is an opportunity where we can see that same thing occur. We could see Trey Lance be a spark and effectively kind of see the team accept him and build around him. And if that's the case, there's no reason why this team can't win playoff games. That's my opinion. I really believe if they come in and with that type of mentality, hey, even like Jimmy Garoppolo did in 2017 when he came in, won 5 straight games with a bunch of guys he'd only been around for 2 weeks. It's not identical parallels at all. However, what is it? End of the year. Obviously, the 49ers have much more to play for this time around. But Trey Lance has kind of already been through the fire. He's seen what it takes to prepare for a game. He understands the noise that comes along with it. He's seen Jimmy Garoppolo have to act throughout it. So I think there's an opportunity here where Trey Lance could actually kind of be this reset. A little bit of a breath of fresh air. We're going to find out, though. We're absolutely going to find out. Chris Royal says a start in the playoffs will help Trey stay hungry. I think Trey's going to be hungry regardless. But if he can, again, get into the playoffs and get a dub under his belt as a rookie, man, I think that's going to help his confidence so much. I think it's going to help him so much. All right, sorry. was looking at something. Chris says if Jimmy Garoppolo's poor gameplay versus the Titans was because of his early thumb injury, why didn't Kyle recognize that and put in Lance? Jimmy was throwing ducks all night. I mean, I think based on what people have seen and gone back, and they showed, Ian Rappaport specifically pointed to which play Jimmy Garoppolo hurt his thumb on. How did he know that? Probably someone told him. And I don't think it was Kyle. But I think, again, it happened, I think, in the second quarter. It happened after the overthrow from Juice. It happened after the pick to Janoris Jenkins. So, trust me, there's going to be a lot of questions surrounding this injury, the timing of it, the optics of it. It's all stinky. But hey, ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing new. We've been here for a long time. There's a reason why I put this hat on almost anytime we talk about this stuff, is because we understand. We understand the game. We understand the game within the game and the media and the front office and optics, all that kind of stuff. We understand. So there's more to this situation than is being led on. But until then, it's pure speculation until more information comes out. And I think we're going to have more information on Wednesday. I think that's when it's going to first kind of start happening. I think that's when it's going to first start happening. We're going to start to know more about all this stuff on Wednesday. So, I mean, what do you guys feel, man? What do you guys feel? Do you feel like Trey Lance can come in and lead this team? Do you think he can come in understanding the circumstances, where he's been, how they've been kind of handling him, his experiences this year, the ability to kind of sit back and run scout team for basically the last 8 weeks? Do you think Trey Lance has an opportunity to come in and be successful? I would like to see what you guys think in the chat. We got a no. We got a yup. Jackie says absolutely. Let's see. We got a no. Hell yes, he can. Treyoff's boy. Let's go. We got a yes. TK says yes because his supporting cast is better this game than it was versus the Cards, which is all facts. His supporting cast, Elijah Mitchell's going to be better off. They had no, really Jeff Wilson. He wasn't available against them. I think so. I think George Kittle is going to be one of the key components here. Also, at that time, Brandon Ayuk wasn't up to speed. That was when I literally did a live about how Brandon Ayuk caught that ball, that dime from Trey Lance on the sideline outside the numbers on a rope, and he got up. Ayuk got up and looked directly at Kyle Shanahan, and right as Ayuk looked directly at Kyle Shanahan went like this. That was when they were not good. There was a lot of stuff going on around week 5. There was especially after that loss to Seattle, the way Jimmy handled the post-game press conference. I'm going to be out a couple weeks. It's kind of eerily similar to what's going on now. Is it not? Is it not eerily similar to what happened week 4 when Jimmy got hurt? Remember, Trey Lance got thrown into the second half and started the rest of the second half. But isn't it a little bit eerily similar? Again, Jimmy Garoppolo goes to the podium. Oh, I'm going to be out a couple weeks. Trey Lance is thrust in. Feels eerily similar. So the parallels right there are there. So Trey Lance already been through this. That's another positive. Trey Lance has already been through this situation that he's in right now. He's already done that. They've already been through this. So there's a development. There's some development right there. He's been through this. So this is now his second time. Maybe it's not going to be as daunting as it was the first time. Maybe you'll have a little bit more confidence in his capabilities going into this time around. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. So ultimately, what it comes down to is I think Trey Lance is capable. I've watched him enough. Like I said, I was able to watch him all of training camp. I thought he played so good that I made up a quarterback competition that didn't exist because I understood later the politics. It took me a while because I'm such a football guy, like I'm such a on the field football person that it took me a while to resonate like, oh yeah, there's politics. It's roster politics. Duh. Like it's just politics. It is what it is. So overall, I think Trey Lance is capable. He's got the arm. He's got the talent. He's got the mentality. I think he's calm, man. I think he's got ice in his veins, and I think that's going to bring a different level of. Again, he's going to be young. He's going to be rookie. He's going to be a little shaky, probably in and out of the huddle and all that kind of stuff. But I think Trey Lance is going to be all right, man. Because again, I'm that guy. I am that guy that said I really did believe that Trey Lance should have started week 1. Should have went into training camp as the starter, and we should have developed him that way. That was my stance. The reason why that was my stance is because of the drama that is generated by what they did, how they did it. And I think we didn't even make it to the end of the year. Didn't even make it to the end of the year. There's drama. It's not just, there's drama. So that's why. So that in this situation, we're not throwing Trey into the fire. He's actually already went through the fire and has started to develop and have a baseline understanding of who he is, what he is, and all that stuff. So I think Trey Lance, biggest thing is if he can manage turnovers. If he can manage turnovers and do all that kind of stuff, then I'm really excited about that. Rage says, stop with the Cap comparisons. He wasn't a good thrower, and Trey is his own person who's hopefully going to be better than that guy was. So I'm also someone who lived through the Kaepernick experience. I'm also someone, I think, who's kind of uniquely able to speak about the Kaepernick situation because Kaepernick was my first ever draft crush. I started getting into the draft in 2010. And Kaepernick was the first guy that I fell in love with at Nevada, running the pistol with Chris Paul over there. I fell in love. First quarterback to pass for 10,000 yards in college and rush for 4,000 yards. I was like, this dude is for real. Like, if you guys have followed me on my Instagram account or you've seen me, how I'm about Brian Burns, CeeDee Lamb, even Justin Fields. Like, when you see how hyped I get about prospects, I was that hyped. Cap was the first. He was my first ever. He holds a special. I mean, he's right here behind me. His Cap's right there. He holds a special place in my heart, Colin Kaepernick, because that was my guy. That's the reason why I love the draft. That's the reason why I'm credentialed to the Senior Bowl. One of the reasons why I'm credentialed to the Senior Bowl is because Kaepernick made me fall in love with the draft. I fell in love with the draft. I knew I wanted to do that, but the fact that the 49ers selected my guy, to the moon. To the moon. One of the reasons why I'm talking to you right now was because of that moment. So with Kaepernick, he could throw it. That dude could sling it. He could put that ball anywhere. He could put it anywhere. He could cut through swirling winds, sleet, snow, rain. It didn't matter. His arm was electric. Not only was his arm electric, when he got a straight line speed in front of him, he was gone. 180 yards, right? Rushing against the Green Bay Packers. I think it was in the playoffs. Something like that. I don't even remember. It was insane. But Kaepernick fell off. Let's be very clear with that. Kaepernick did fall off. He was not the same. He did lose his arm talent. He wasn't the same person. He did. And that was hard to watch. That was hard to watch, man. Trust me, when I say I defended that guy till the freaking end, I did. I watched the entire fan base turn on him. And this was before, the kneelings. Wait, I'm not even talking about that. This was just the play on the field. Remember he got benched in Chicago because I think he threw like 4 yards in 3 quarters? Like, there was a point where Cap fell off, man. Like, where I couldn't even defend him anymore. He was throwing balls into the dirt. Like, but that's mentality. That's confidence. That's up here. That's this. It's one of the things that we talk about Jimmy Garopollo. Jimmy Garopollo has ability. He can make good throws. He can make a lot of the throws. But it's how is he up here at the time? What's the mentality? What's the thought process? What's the confidence levels? Because the confidence levels dictate the success. When Jimmy's confident, he's balling. When Jimmy's not confident, he's not balling. When Kaepernick was confident, he was balling. When Kaepernick was not confident, he wasn't balling. The ability doesn't go away. The ability is there. It's baseline there. This is what suffers the most. The mentality, reading defenses, understanding what is going on the field. So Cap was good. He had the opportunity to be great. Kaepernick had the opportunity to be great. Whoever you want to blame, whether it's the coaching staff, Greg Roman, Jim Harbaugh, Nessa. I blame Nessa. That's who I blame. I blame Nessa for it all. I blame Nessa for the downfall of the 49ers. That's who I blame. But you can blame whoever you want. But at the end of the day, he did fall off. He was good at. He looked like he was going to be the next big thing, man. It looked like Cap would still be our quarterback to this day, balling, winning in multiple championships. Nessa, man. Nessa. The devil. Man, I'm not lying either. I'm not lying. Like, I really blame her. I legitimately blame her. She was part of the reason why Alden got kicked off the team. It was a situation over her between Kaepernick and Alden. And Alden ran into a car. And they got kicked off the next day. I blame Nessa. It's all her fault. She messed up. She messed all us up. We let Nessa get in between two of our best players, Alden Smith and Kaepernick. Look at both of them now. Look at both of them now. Look at both of them pre-Nessa. Look at them post-Nessa. Neither of them are playing football. Both of them had Hall of Fame talent. Trey Lance, hey, Trey. If a girl named Nessa slides into your DMs, do not respond. Run away. Block. Run. Run for the hills. Do not let a girl named Nessa come close to you. Do not do it. Please. You better. Block. Insta-block. Block. Oh, hey, Trey. Hope you did. Block. Oh, Trey, you little block. Block, 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 block. No, Nessa. No. Your fault. You ruined my team. You. As you can see, I still get hyped up about it. I still get hyped about it. Like that dude, that time, that was a wild time to be alive. And I lived through it all. Everything. Every news drop, everything. I was all over it. And I witnessed it all. Nessa, block. Don't let her near you. Don't let her energy near you. Block. Twitter. Instagram. Block. Don't do it, Trey. Don't do it, Trey, man. Don't do it. Talk about succubus. Sorry. All right, let's get back on track, man. Let's get back on track. I'm checking real quick to see if any news came through. Let me see. Any news come through? Former 49ers Kerryon Johnson signed to the Eagles practice squad. Let's see. Only roster move that we really saw was the Mitch Wishnowsky stuff. Yeah, let's talk about Trey. So, yeah, let's go Twitch squad. We see you, my guy. Let's go Twitch squad. Holding it down for probably like the half a person that's watching. You make it 1.5 people that's watching. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. If you're new here, you just witnessed your first squirrel. Hey, I'm just saying, it comes with the territory. Someone brings a squirrel to me. Who? ADHD gang. We're in the building. It's all good. Keep pounding. Yes. So the 49ers do need some help. Here. They don't, but it does help. If the Panthers can beat the Saints, that helps us clinch. I believe, right? The Panthers can beat the Saints, that helps us clinch. So, hey, let's go. Let's go. I see you. Let's go, Twitch gang. Let's go, Twitch gang. We see you. Let's go, squirrel. So honestly though, what it comes down to is 49ers have a great opportunity. Now, are you guys scared? Let me try. I want to pull the chat. I want to bring you guys back into this. Oh, I like this too. We got 320 people in here. If almost all you guys just hit that like button, just do, we to the moon. Ooh, we're at 167 already. That's not bad. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, guys. I like where we're at. Ooh, 177 already. Oh, the push for 200 again. I don't know if this chat's up for it. Well, I spoke too soon. 195. Let's go. I spoke way too soon. Okay, so again, let me get back to it. Again, see, squirrel. These are squirrels. I apologize if you're new to the channel. It happens. I have ADHD, so I get distracted easily. Let's go. We see you. Now, I like that. Now let's get to 300. Can we get to 300? Let's go. We see the gang out here working. We see the Sourdough Squad working. And if you guys haven't subscribed, you should. Because this is what we do here. We have fun. We talk about football, the 49ers. We talk about legitimate things. And then we talk about squirrels. Not like literal squirrels, like things that just pop up and just will go on rants about Nessa for no reason. It happens. Yes, sir. ADHD gang. We lit. Let's go. We see all you guys. Let's go. So again, let me reset the question because again, I got distracted by our push to 200 likes, which we did. So shout out the squad. We see you guys. You guys have been active lately, and it's making me very happy. I really do appreciate you guys so much. Let's see. The original question was, Are you guys confident or are you nervous? Are you confident about Trey Lance getting an opportunity or are you nervous? And so I'm going to go through some of the responses. Stovey says, I'm like 5% nervous. It's fair. It's definitely fair. Rage says, honestly, I'm just excited and confident. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty confident too. Trey, elite. He showed why we drafted him in the Arizona game. He did. Because again, one of the main things that we talked about on this live was how it felt like it was all him in that game. Again, no George Kittle. You could see how that hurt them. Let's see. Oh, Vlad. That's so funny that your name is Vlad the Impaler. I just read about him for the first time yesterday. So I know exactly who you're talking about and why he's called that. Interesting name. And it kind of jives with your response that you have no faith if Trey plays. Oh God. Let's see. I want to see what you guys have to say. So drop it in the chat. Are you nervous or are you confident? Are you nervous or are you confident? Or are we scared? I just kind of want to get a sense of where you guys are at. Kurt says, Trey area, huh? I'm confident. Niner Gang says, I have faith in Trey. Confident. Both. Aloha says, Mitchell being back with Wilson will give Trey some time to get in rhythm. Huge point. Our D needs to have a strong game. Agreed. Aloha, Smitty. I'm not sure I've seen you around these parts before, but great contributions to the chat. You're on point. I agree 100%. I think Mitchell being back with the emergence of Jeff Wilson, with the emergence of the run game and how they've been attacking it from a schematic standpoint, with Trey and the threat of zone read or the threat of designed counter, with that, I'm kind of confident. I'm kind of confident. Lucas says both nervous, both confident. Bull Pup says nervous. TK47 says both. DJ's confident for show. Vader is both. Niner Gang says Trey all the way. Captain, you're wild, man. Confident with Trey. Ruben says about time. Ooh, I'd rather lose with Trey than with Jimmy. I think a lot of fans will feel that way because I think we're also understanding the kind of paradox shift. We're going from a quarterback who's been in the league for years, has actually literally won Super Bowls, not because he was starting, but he has 2 Super Bowl rings. He played behind Tom Brady. He's had multiple seasons as the starter. And we have, again, then you look at the Titans game with all that combined, it's like, feels like Trey could play just like that or at the same level, maybe even better. But we understand it's so much more than that. Trey will win these next 2. Nervous. Oh, never nervous. Excuse me. I'm confidently excited. Brandon says, would be nervous if it wasn't against the Texans. That's a good point. Like, let's say if the Rams, we're playing the Rams this week, probably be a little bit more nervous in the chat. But I think it plays out perfectly. Again, the timing. I like that it's against the Texans. I like that they have holes, but they're also playing well kind of at the end of the year. So it's a good little pre-test, essentially, for Trey as he heads into the game against the Rams. Lucas says he has talent, but you never know. Dean says, I'm just ready to get this shit going. For Trey, I'm hell of excited. Appreciate you, Luke, for the super chat. Really do appreciate that. Nervous, no faith. Vlad the Impaler might be one of my favorite personalities already, just because of the timing of me literally just learning about Vlad the Impaler and why he's called that. Sean says, I like Jimmy G, but if Trey can get a 6, hard to argue with that. Exactly. That's the ultimate goal, is to get that 6th. Hashtag get the 6th. We want the 6. I'm done questing for it. I know exactly where it is. I know where that 6th Lombardi sits. Go get it. Go take it. We're not looking for it. It is what it is. So I think we're seeing a lot of the same. Nervous anticipation, only nervous of McGlinchey being out. I mean, shout out Tom Compton, man. Tom Compton has done better than I would have ever anticipated. I think Tom Compton's done a serviceable job. And I think he's gotten better because I believe, was that when Tom Compton came in? No, McGlinchey was playing that game. And it was actually one of McGlinchey's lesser games on the year. McGlinchey still had a good game, but he got beat a couple times. Confident, not cocky. Trey has the smarts, and the time he's had to ingest the offensive plan gives me confidence. I was 0% nervous against the Titans. Ooh, I was so confident going into that Titans game. Like, I was buzzing. Like, I was vibrating. Like, pause. Like, I felt so confident going into that Tennessee Titans game that they were just going to come out and demolish them. And it felt like that's what they were going to do at the beginning. And then it all just unraveled. Confident. Want to see him grow because he could be a huge threat with his skill set. Oh, 49ers 0-2. Can't make this guy happy. Can't be worse than... Ooh. Ouch. Hal said it best. Just win, baby. Just win, baby. Confident Kyle will make a running game back to RG3's rookie career, but with better receivers. I don't want that. I don't want to see anything that resembles RG3. I'm going to keep it a buck. Keep it a buck. I do not want to see anything that resembles RG3. Because what was the ultimate outcome? They ran RG3 into the ground, literally. I don't want to see that. We kind of got a glimpse of that against the Cardinals. I don't want to see that. I want to see the 49ers. I want to see the 49ers offense with Trey and with wrinkles of zone read, wrinkles of RPO, wrinkles of design quarterback runs. The threat of those things alone can change the offense. I don't want to see an RG3 style offense. And I don't think that's what David's saying specifically. It's just what pops into my brain. Totally confident. Trey off time. I'm nervous just because it's a second ever start. Yep. Patience. And I think this is the main thing. We are confident. We are excited. We do think Trey Lance is going to come out and do well. But remember, at the end of the day, after all of it, he is a rookie. And he will make rookie mistakes. Just like Ambry Thomas. Let's use Ambry Thomas as a case study. Against that Bengals team in his first career start, he did not look great. He didn't. He was getting burnt per usual. 2 really bad penalties that took away a sack and took away an interception. And what did we see the next week against the Falcons? Okay, he wasn't getting burnt, but however, he made adjustments and was in position. Okay. Third game. Oh, he's actually making some plays. He started making some plays against A.J. Brown. Okay. Development takes time. It's not going to happen right away. It can, but doesn't mean it will. We can be confident, but he can still have rookie mistakes. Both things can be true. We can still see situations where maybe the call isn't properly communicated. Small things that we take for granted. Calling in the play from Kyle to the huddle. Small things that are taken for granted. Energy in the huddle. Things like that. Small things, but can have an impact. Mark says more nervous about Kyle than Lance. I would actually agree with that. I think that's where I'm at. Honestly, I think that's where I'm at. I think I'm a little bit more nervous about what Kyle's going to do with Lance than I actually am of Lance actually doing it, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I agree. I think that's a good point. I like this. I like this, Dylan. Dylan says, scared? LOL. Niners by a billion. I like that. I like that. 100% confident he can play. All that good stuff. Paper Boy Ace says if Trey puts touch on his passes, throws wide receivers opens, and improvises when the pocket collapses, as well as scrambles when he sees daylight, we can't be stopped. My boy spin facts. I agree. Like if that is the case, like if Trey Lance legitimately comes out and just plays clean ball, like clean, like I don't need to see Patrick Mahomes. I don't need to see craziness. I don't. I just I want to see clean, efficient, effective ball. Take care of the football, get the run game going, build counters off of it. That's what I want. That's what I want. I don't need to see Trey Lance throwing for 500 yards. That's the whole reason why I started out this particular episode talking about what Jimmy Garopollo did over a span of a 8-game winning streak that the 49ers ended up going to the Super Bowl on. I also talked about what Jimmy did in the playoffs specifically on that run. We don't need Trey Lance to be everything. We don't. Just like we didn't need Jimmy Garoppolo to be everything. Same concept applies. What do we need? We need them to play clean ball. That's what we need, right? Because we have an offense. We have a good defense. We do. So that's the expectation. It's just wanting to see clean ball. It doesn't have to be like Patrick Mahomes throwing for 450 yards, no lookers. Like it doesn't have to be that. It just has to be clean, efficient, and effective. That's all I want. Great comment. Cody Carp says Trey area equals Trey offs. No doubt. I think a Trey off shirt's coming. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Jordan Dangerfield visited the 49ers. Don't know who that is or even what position he plays, but he visited. Per Aaron Wilson. I think we got to, right? I think we got to do a little shirt here. We might have to. So, overall, if we can get those things, Tyler Bray, wake up, honey. That's interesting. The 49ers are working out quarterbacks. 49ers are working out quarterbacks. 49ers are working out quarterbacks. Tyler Bray, if you guys do know him or not, he played football at the University of Tennessee. He is undrafted, spent 5 seasons with Kansas City Chiefs, and He also played for the Chicago Bears. That's interesting. That is interesting. So we know the cadence. We know the cadence, right? So if there's a specific number of players on the roster and someone's hurt, what do? They bring in guys for workouts for that specific position. And if they are hurt and don't play, they intend to sign, because the 49ers right now have Trey Lance and Nate Sudfeld. So they have 2 quarterbacks on the roster if they're not including Jimmy Garopollo. However, if Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be out for an extended period of time, you need a third quarterback, scout team, and or those types of services. I don't think this is an indication of trusting Sudfeld. This is a numbers game. You have 3 quarterbacks. You have a dedicated practice squad guy. That's pretty much all he does. That's who Nick Mullins was. It was Brian Hoyer and CJ Beathard. Nick Mullins was that third rando that just kind of hung around, and then he got his opportunity and became Nick Mullins. So interesting. That's why I said Wednesday. We're going to know. That to me is a first hint. They're working out quarterbacks. The next hint, sign the quarterback. When they sign the quarterback, we know exactly what's going on. So, oh boy. Again, tomorrow's going to be a heavy news day. Tomorrow's going to be a heavy news day. We're probably going to find out if Jimmy's going to IR. We're going to find out the extent of the injury in regards to the length and time that it's going to take. So, but that's our first clue. Is that they are bringing in and working out quarterbacks. Jimmy to IR? Maybe. Cody says confident but worried. Kittle, Debo, and Ayuk and hands. Oh, I get it. Got you. Let me reset. Confident but worried. Kittle, Debo, and Ayuk and hands going to be hurting from all the fire Trey brings to the ball, as opposed to those Jimmy G dogs. Damn, man. You guys definitely don't go lightly. You say what you want to say. Yeah, Trey does throw with a completely different velocity. Completely different. It's extremely apparent. It's apparent in practice. So good news. Good news. After the 49ers added Mitch Wishnowsky to the reserve COVID list yesterday, no additional players have been added. So that's good. That's good. That's good to know. So it's going to be a wild ride, guys. We're just getting started. So if you guys did enjoy, I mean, this was a long episode. They've been longer. However, I do appreciate all you guys. If you're new here, just hit that sub, man. Just hit that sub. You're going to love it here. Trust me. Once you hit the sub, once you like the video, you become a member of the Sourdough Squad. The Sourdough Squad is undefeated. Just ask the chat. Sourdough Squad is undefeated. And you become one of us just by subscribing and just like the video. That's it. It's been a wild ride, guys. It's been a wild ride. Like I said, this is just getting started. We're gonna have a lot to talk about this week. We have a lot to talk about with Trey. We're gonna have a lot to talk about what the offense looks like, who's gonna be healthy. Obviously, we're gonna find out most likely tomorrow about Jimmy Garoppolo. We're going to find out if he's headed to IR, if he will be available, what the long-term repercussions of his injury are. Do they require surgery? All those types of things. And of course, the 49ers have protected quarterback Nate Sudfeld, defensive end Alex Barnett, and Curtis Robinson. So it's not a surprise either that the 49ers have protected Nate Sudfeld from being able to get signed from anyone else. Oh, heck no. I already blocked her. Too late. Too late, Nessa. I already blocked you. Too late. Can't come after me. Let's go. I'm loving the multiple Twitch people holding it down. We see you guys holding it down for our Twitch squad. Hey, I appreciate you guys chilling in there. It's probably a little lonely, but I appreciate it. I really do. So I think that's a good opportunity for us to end, at least right now. You guys always know if more news pops, you know where I'm running to. I'm running to do a live on YouTube. So let's go, Robert. New sub and liked. Let's go, Niners. Been a fan since 77. New member of the Sourdough Squad. We see you, and we appreciate you as well. Great stuff, Robert. Titan Party says, King Kong ain't got shit on me. Training day. Ooh. Hey, we got a creative group, man. Training day. I think we create. I think I'm gonna have to make some shirts, man. I think I'm gonna have to make some Trey off shirts. I don't know. What do you think? Should I? Should we do that? I think I might have to. Let's go. We see you with the sub, Jay. We really do appreciate it. We really, really do. Yes, I am going to go check this out. I'm going to go see what all this good stuff is about. Apparently, Trey Young's running some kind of Trey Lance is running some kind of situation. The Trey-offs are close. Yes, no. This is the key one. This is the key part. 49. I am not putting out playoff merch without being in the playoffs. Just let's keep it 100. That would be terrible. we hype up these Trey off shirts. All of a sudden, the 49ers drop 2 and we bounce out of the playoffs. No. Once we get that word, I think that's what I'm doing. Start working on it now. But once we get that word, 49ers are officially in the playoffs. Keep a lookout. I'm going to try to work on something. We'll see. We'll try to see. Do we know who came up with it? Do we know who said it first? I don't know. I don't know who it was. If it is whoever it was, we see you. I'll send you a shirt because that was fire. But I think we got to do it. So playoffs are around the corner. Quick summary. Can the 49ers go far with Trey Lance at quarterback? Yes, they can. They can. Oh, it's the guy with the Laker profile pic. Fitting. If he comes back around, it'll be easy to spot him. It will definitely be easy to spot him. So we appreciate that. That's great. It's a great nickname. A great name. So keep an eye out for that. But as you know, keep an eye out for tomorrow's lives. Tomorrow. State of the franchise. State of the franchise episode with Jason Aponte, 1:30 Pacific Standard Time. If you've ever watched the State of the Franchise episodes, I mean, I think it's quickly becoming one of the best, 49ers related shows on YouTube. I'm just throwing that out there. Just saying. There's a lot of other good content creators out, but I'm just saying that State of the Franchise kind of fi. Paperboy says, what if we get Aaron Rodgers this offseason? Oof. That is a definite off-season question. Definitely an off-season question. It's honestly not even one that I would totally want to wrap my brain around, to be perfectly honest, because I'm just excited about Trey Lance starting this week, let alone thinking about trading Trey Lance for not ready yet. Not ready for that conversation. You can ask it again in the offseason for sure, because you know how the offseason content is going to be through the roof. Off-season content is going to be through the roof. However, I do want to thank Paperboy Ace. That was one of his many contributions today. So shout out to all you guys who've contributed. Shout out to the Sourdough Squad for always keeping the chat lit. Appreciate you guys for working with me when I had to go play Dr. Dad and handle some stuff with my kids. So I appreciate that as well. You guys are the best. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate the way you guys contribute, comment, get those likes up, do it all. You guys make this stuff hella fun. You make this stuff hella fun. So I really do appreciate it. But Paperboy, my guy, see you, and I appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate my Twitch streamers. I appreciate you guys. I love you. I love you guys, man. I love you guys. So I'll see you guys most likely tomorrow. And we will absolutely pick up the conversation then. So remember, stay tuned. State of the franchise on top of, we're probably going to find out. Probably going to find out what's going on with Jimmy G. So that state of the franchise episode might be one of the spiciest yet. So hope to see you guys there. Peace out. Y'all be